I never expected my life to flip upside down over a single beer pong game, but that's exactly what happened the night Jake dragged me to that frat party. As his openly gay roommate, I'd spent months tiptoeing around my crush on him, convinced he was as straight as they come, until he leaned in close amid the thumping bass and whispered something that shattered everything I thought I knew. "Alex, I've been faking it all along," he said, his eyes locking onto mine with a vulnerability I'd never seen. And in that moment, the world narrowed to just us two. Living in a cramped apartment off campus at UCLA was supposed to be straightforward. Pay rent, study hard, and avoid drama. Jake and I had met through a roommate ad on Craigslist. Him a star lacrosse player with a parade of girlfriends. Me a quiet film major nursing a secret admiration from afar. He was the kind of guy who filled the room with easy charm, high-fiving everyone and cracking jokes that made even the grumpiest professors laugh. I, on the other hand, kept to myself, burying my head in scripts and avoiding the spotlight. Our dynamic worked because we respected boundaries. He'd blast hip-hop while lifting weights in the living room, and I'd retreat to my room with headphones, pretending not to notice how his sweat-soaked shirts clung to his athletic build. But beneath that surface calm, tension simmered. Not from conflict, but from my unspoken feelings. That Friday started like any other. I was sprawled on the couch, editing a short film on my laptop, when Jake burst through the door, tossing his gym bag aside. "Dude, you're coming out with me tonight," he announced, not asking but declaring. I looked up, surprised. We'd hung out plenty in groups, but one-on-one invites were rare. "There's this epic party at Sigma Chi my buddy's hosting, and I need a wingman who won't steal all the girls." He grinned, that signature lopsided smile that always made my stomach flip. I hesitated, citing a deadline, but he wasn't having it. "Come on, Alex. Live a little. You've been cooped up here like a hermit." His persistence wore me down, and before I knew it, I was in his beat-up Jeep, heading toward the glowing lights of Fraternity Row. The party was a whirlwind of red Solo cups, pulsing music, and bodies packed wall-to-wall. Jake navigated the crowd like a pro, introducing me to his teammates and sorority girls who eyed him with obvious interest. I stuck close, nursing a drink and trying to blend in, but feeling out of place amid the straight-laced chaos. That's when things shifted. During a heated game of beer pong, Jake and I teamed up against two burly guys from the football team. We were losing badly until Jake sank a miracle shot, high-fiving me with such enthusiasm that his hand lingered on my shoulder a beat too long. The crowd cheered, but his gaze held mine, intense and searching. Later, as we stepped outside for fresh air, the cool night breeze cutting through the haze, he turned to me. "Alex, there's something I need to tell you." His voice was low, almost shaky. I froze, heart pounding. "I've been struggling with this for a while. I'm not straight. Not entirely." The confession hit like a punch. Jake, the poster boy for heteronormativity, admitting he liked guys too? He explained how he'd dated girls to fit in, pressured by his conservative family back in Texas. His dad, a former military man who preached traditional values, his mom organizing church bake sales. Coming out wasn't an option. It would mean disownment, lost scholarships, everything crumbling. But living with me had cracked his facade. "You're so real about who you are," he said, "and it's made me question everything." We talked for hours on that porch, the party fading into background noise. My crush deepened into something mutual, tentative touches turning into a shared understanding. But as dawn approached, reality crept in. What if his friends found out? What about the lacrosse team, where homophobic jokes were locker room staples? Back home, the apartment felt charged. Jake crashed on the couch, but sleep evaded me. The next morning, over coffee, we navigated the awkwardness. "Last night was real," he assured me, but his eyes darted to the door, as if expecting judgment to barge in. I wanted to believe him, to lean into this budding connection, but doubts nagged. Was he using me as an experiment? Society's shadows loomed large. His world was built on straight privilege, mine on quiet resilience. As days passed, stolen glances evolved into secret kisses behind closed doors, but the secrecy weighed heavy. Jake's phone buzzed constantly with invites from his straight crowd, and I'd watch him paste on that fake smile, wondering how long we could hide. One evening, tension boiled over. Jake's ex-girlfriend, Sarah, showed up unannounced, flirting shamelessly. He played along to deflect suspicion, laughing at her jokes while I seethed in the kitchen. When she left, I confronted him. Is this how it's gonna be? Me in the shadows while you pretend. He pulled me close, apologizing, but the hurt lingered. I need time, Alex. My family's coming for parents' weekend. If they suspect anything. His voice trailed off, fear etched on his face. I understood. Coming from a supportive but distant family myself, I'd faced my own battles, but empathy clashed with frustration. Why should love be a battlefield? As parents' weekend neared, Jake grew distant, burying himself in practice and parties. I threw myself into my film project, a story about hidden identities that mirrored our reality too closely. One night, alone in the apartment, I scrolled through old photos of us. Innocent roommate shots now laced with unspoken truth. The conflict tore at me. Push him to come out and risk losing him, or swallow my pride and wait. Society's expectations pressed in, whispering that relationships like ours were anomalies, destined for drama. But in quiet moments, when Jake's guard dropped, the connection felt undeniable, a spark defying the odds. Little did I know, the real storm was brewing, one that would force choices neither of us was ready for. The weekend arrived like a ticking bomb. Jake's parents pulled up in their pristine SUV, his dad barking orders about parking while his mom fussed over Jake's unkempt hair. I played the role of polite roommate, shaking hands and making small talk about classes. Alex here is a film whiz, Jake said, clapping my back a tad too forcefully. His eyes pleaded for discretion, and I nodded, heart aching. Dinner at a local steakhouse was a masterclass in facade. Jake regaling tales of lacrosse victories, his dad nodding approval, his mom asking about any special girls. I sat silently, forcing smiles as Jake dodged questions with expert deflection. But under the table, his foot brushed mine, a secret apology that only deepened the rift. Back at the apartment, the charade continued. His parents crashed in a hotel, but not before his dad pulled Jake aside for a man-to-man talk. I overheard snippets. Stay focused, son. No distractions. Jake emerged pale, collapsing onto the couch beside me once they left. They'd kill me if they knew, he whispered, head in hands. I wrapped an arm around him, feeling his tremble. We don't have to rush this. But inside, resentment brewed. Why was his fear dictating our pace? I come out in high school, facing bullies and whispers, emerging stronger. Jake's hesitation felt like a step back, a reminder of how far society still had to go. Monday brought fallout. At lacrosse practice, rumors swirled. Someone had seen us at the party, too close for brothers. Jake's teammate, Mike, cornered him in the locker room. Dude, what's up with you and your roomie? People are talking. Jake laughed it off, but the strain showed. That night, he came home fuming. I can't deal with this crap. If the team finds out, I'm benched, or worse. We argued, voices rising. So what, we just pretend forever? I shot back. I'm not your dirty secret, Jake. He paced, torn between loyalty to his old life and the pull toward authenticity. It's not that simple. My scholarship, my future. It's all tied to this image. The conflict escalated when Sarah reappeared, this time at a campus event. She clung to Jake, oblivious or perhaps spiteful, and he didn't push her away. I watched from afar, jealousy twisting like a knife. Later, in our apartment, the dam broke. Why let her hang all over you? I demanded. Jake sighed. It's easier. Keeps questions at bay. But his words stung, implying our relationship was the complication. We slept in separate rooms that night, the silence deafening. Morning brought tentative reconciliation, a shared breakfast, hands brushing over cereal bowls. I want this, Alex. I just don't know how. His vulnerability softened me, but the underlying issues festered. Society's gaze felt omnipresent. Friends assuming Jake's straightness, family expecting conformity. even strangers casting judgmental looks at any hint of affection. Midweek, a turning point hit. My film class screened a documentary on LGBTQ rights, sparking heated debates. One student argued that staying closeted was selfish, hurting partners and perpetuating stigma. Another defended it as survival in a hostile world. I sat there, absorbing every word, seeing parallels to us. After class, I confided in my friend Lena, the only one who knew about Jake. "He's scared, but it's killing me," I admitted. She hugged me. Love shouldn't require hiding, but forcing him out could break everything. Her words echoed as I headed home, finding Jake waiting with takeout, his peace offering. We ate in companionable quiet, then talked honestly. "I came out because I had to be true to myself," I said. "But I get your fears. Just promise me we're in this together." He nodded, pulling me into a hug that felt like progress. Yet progress was fragile. That weekend, Jake's team hosted a barbecue, and he insisted I come as just the roommate. I agreed, but tension simmered. Mike, ever the instigator, made a crude joke about gay dudes invading sports. The group laughed, but Jake stayed silent, avoiding my eyes. Hurt, I left early, wandering campus alone. Back home, he found me on the balcony. "I'm sorry." I froze. We dissected the moment. His internalized shame clashing with growing acceptance. "Growing up, my dad drilled that being gay was weak," he confessed. "I'm unlearning it, but it's hard." Empathy warred with impatience. I wanted him to fight for us, but understood the roots of his struggle. As weeks blurred, our relationship deepened in private. Late-night talks about dreams, shared laughs over bad movies. But publicly, the divide widened. Jake skipped pride events I attended, citing team stuff, leaving me feeling isolated. One night, after a particularly grueling day, he surprised me by showing up at a queer film screening. "I want to try," he said, slipping his hand into mine in the dark theater. It was a small step, but monumental. Hope flickered, yet shadows lingered. His family planned another visit, and the pressure mounted. Would he crack under it or finally choose authenticity? The answer came sooner than expected, in a confrontation that tested everything. The call came on a rainy Tuesday, Jake's dad announcing a surprise visit for his birthday. Panic set in. Our apartment bore subtle signs of intimacy. My books mixed with his, a shared blanket on the couch. We scrambled to straighten up, hiding anything that screamed couple. "This is ridiculous," I muttered, stuffing a pride flag into a drawer. Jake shot me a guilty look. "Just for now, please." I relented, but the act felt like betrayal, erasing us to appease others. His parents arrived bearing gifts and expectations. Dinner was a repeat performance. Boasts about Jake's athletic prowess, probes about his love life. "Met any nice girls lately?" his mom asked, eyes twinkling. Jake mumbled about being busy, but his dad pressed. "Don't wait too long, son. Family's important." I excused myself early, feigning a headache, but overheard Jake's evasive replies from the kitchen. When they left for their hotel, he joined me, exhausted. "I hate this," he admitted, collapsing beside me. We held each other, the rain pattering like unspoken regrets. But the visit unearthed deeper cracks. His dad's offhand comment about a fairy neighbor back home, laughed off but cutting deep. Jake winced but said nothing, his silence a wound. Post-visit, friction intensified. At a team party, Mike outed a rival player with slurs, the group erupting in laughter. Jake joined in half-heartedly, later confessing shame. I laughed to fit in, but it felt wrong. We argued again. "How can you love me and tolerate that?" He countered. "Changing overnight isn't realistic. Give me time." Time, however, was a luxury we lacked. Rumors about us spread, fueled by a blurry party photo online. Jake's coach pulled him aside, warning about distractions. Stressed, he withdrew, spending nights at the gym. I felt abandoned, questioning if our love was worth the pain. A breakthrough came via an unexpected ally. Lena, sensing my turmoil, invited us to a low-key queer gathering. Jake hesitated but agreed, stepping into a world of open acceptance. There, amid stories of struggle and triumph, he relaxed, even sharing a bit about his journey. It's scary, but seeing this, maybe I can do it. That night, back home, intimacy flowed naturally, not physical but emotional. We planned small steps, telling a trusted friend, attending more events. Hope reignited, but society pushed back. Jake's ex, Sarah, confronted him after hearing whispers. Is it true? You're with Alex. Jealous and confused, she threatened to tell his parents. He talked her down, but the close call rattled him. What if she does? Everything ends. The climax built during a campus protest against anti-LGBTQ legislation. I marched with signs, chanting for equality, while Jake watched from the sidelines, torn. Afterward, exhilarated, I urged him to join next time. I can't risk it, he said, sparking our fiercest fight. You're choosing fear over us, I yelled. He stormed out, leaving me in tears. Hours later, he returned, apologetic. You're right. I've been selfish. We reconciled, but the damage lingered, trust frayed. Weeks later, opportunity knocked, or rather, exploded. At a lacrosse game, a heckler shouted homophobic taunts at an opposing player. The crowd murmured, but Jake, midfield, paused. In a moment of courage, he yelled back, "Shut up, man. That's not cool." Teammates stared, but Mike backed him unexpectedly. Yeah, cut the crap. Post-game, Jake confided, it felt good, like a weight lifting. Emboldened, he told his closest teammate the truth. The response? Supportive with a caveat, just don't make it weird. Progress, albeit conditional. Our bond strengthened, but external pressures mounted. Jake's family sensed change, his mom calling more, probing. You seem different, honey. Everything okay? He brushed it off, but anxiety gnawed. Meanwhile, my own family offered contrast. My sister cheering our relationship via video call, urging patience. Love wins, but it takes work. Inspired, I organized a quiet dinner for us, candles flickering as we dreamed of a future unhidden. But dreams clashed with reality when a viral campus post accused Jake of faking gay for attention, twisting our story into tabloid fodder. Hurt and angry, he lashed out at me. This is what happens when we push. The accusation stung, reopening old wounds. As the semester wound down, decisions loomed. Jake faced summer back home. Would he regress or hold firm? We spent nights debating, emotions raw. I love you, he said one evening, the words hanging heavy. But loving you means changing everything. I nodded, tears welling. And I'll be here, whatever you choose. The uncertainty was agonizing, a testament to love's complexity amid societal chains. Yet in that vulnerability we found strength, inching toward a reckoning that could make or break us. Summer break loomed like a verdict. Jake packed for Texas, promising daily calls, but doubt clouded his eyes. What if being home pulls me back? He asked, voice cracking. I held him tight. Then fight it. For us. At the airport, our goodbye was hushed. A quick hug amid straight couples' open affection, highlighting our inequality. As his plane took off, loneliness settled in. I returned to an empty apartment, throwing myself into a summer internship at a local film studio, channeling emotions into scripts about forbidden love. Calls started strong. Jake sharing mundane family stories, whispering, I miss you, when alone. But gradually they shortened, excuses piling up, barbecues, church events, old friends. One night, he mentioned hanging with ex-high school buddies, their conservative views rubbing off. They rag on woke stuff, he said lightly, but it alarmed me. Don't let them change you, I urged. He laughed it off, but distance grew, both literal and emotional. Social media offered glimpses. Photos of him at rodeos, grinning with straight crowds, no hint of our world. Jealousy flared when Sarah appeared in one, arm around him. Just friends, he assured via text, but trust wavered. Midsummer, crisis struck. Jake's dad discovered a queer rights article on his browser history. left over from our talks. Confrontation ensued. "What's this garbage, son? You turning soft?" Jake denied, but the seed of suspicion planted. He called me in tears. I almost told him, but I couldn't. Empathy mixed with frustration. His fear, while valid, stalled us. You have to decide what's worth more, hiding or happiness. The call ended tensely, silence following for days. I confided in Lena, who advised space. He needs to figure this out alone. But alone felt torturous, society's invisible barriers amplifying the ache. Reunion came with fall semester. Jake returned tanned and toned, but guarded. Our first night back, we talked till dawn. Home was hell, he admitted. Pretending exhausted me. I want to be out with you. Relief washed over me, kisses sealing the vow. But actions lagged words. At a welcome back party, he mingled solo, leaving me sidelined. "Baby steps," he said later. Impatience brewed. How many steps until equality? Conflict peaked during a family video call. His parents grilled him on settling down, suggesting blind dates. Jake deflected, but snapped when his dad joked about those Hollywood liberals turning kids gay. "Dad, that's not funny," he retorted sharply. Silence followed, then awkward goodbyes. Proud, I hugged him. That was brave. Emboldened, he confided in another teammate. Reception mixed but not hostile. Momentum built, yet backlash loomed. Sarah, spurned, spread rumors online, labeling Jake, confused. Comments poured in. Supportive allies clashing with trolls spewing hate. Jake's coach advised discretion. "Focus on the game, kid." The strain culminated in a heated argument. "Everyone's judging us," Jake yelled. "Maybe we should cool it." "Hurt," I countered. "Or maybe fight back." He left angry, crashing at a friend's. Alone, I reflected on our journey, from secret confessions to public whispers. Love demanded sacrifice, but whose? Morning brought reconciliation. Jake at the door, flowers in hand. "I'm sorry. You're worth the fight." We planned disclosure to his team first, then family. Nerves high, but united. Execution day arrived at a team meeting. Jake stood, voice steady. "Guys, I'm bisexual, and I'm with Alex." Shock rippled, then Mike clapped. "About time, bro. We're good." Not all agreed, one player muttered disapproval, but majority support prevailed. Elated, Jake texted his parents next, a coming-out letter drafted together. The wait was agonizing, hours stretching like years. Finally, the call. His mom's tears, dad's gruff acceptance. "We love you, son. Just give us time." Relief flooded us, tears mixing with laughter. With barriers crumbling, our relationship blossomed openly. Hand-holding on campus, double dates with Lena and her girlfriend, normalcy we'd craved. But scars remained. Occasional stares, whispered judgments reminding us progress was uneven. Jake joined LGBTQ groups, advocating against the hate he'd once tolerated. I finished my film, dedicating it to him, a story of love defying odds. As the year closed, we faced the future together, stronger for the storms. Yet questions lingered, society's evolution slow but steady. Graduation approached, a milestone laced with uncertainty. Jake landed a coaching job in Seattle, while I pursued film opportunities in LA. Geography threatening to pull us apart. "We'll make it work," he vowed, but doubts crept in. Long distance amid fresh freedoms? We spent weekends planning, emotions high. One night, stargazing on the beach, he proposed a pact. Honesty above all. No more hiding from anyone. I agreed, our bond feeling unbreakable. But life tested us. Jake's new role immersed him in a progressive city, embracing openness fully. Calls brimmed with excitement. Pride parades, new queer friends. Meanwhile, LA's grind isolated me, rejections piling up. Envy stirred, he thrived while I struggled. "You're living the dream," I said once, bitterness slipping. He reassured, but distance amplified insecurities. Visits were passionate reunions, yet goodbyes gut-wrenching. Society's role evolved to marriage equality firm, but pockets of resistance persisted, like a colleague's subtle homophobia at my internship. A major conflict arose when Jake's parents visited Seattle. Eager to mend, he invited me. Time to meet the family as my boyfriend. Nerves peaked on the flight, scenarios racing. Dinner was tense. Polite chit-chat masking undercurrents. His dad asked about my lifestyle, tone probing. "It's not a lifestyle, Dad. It's who I am," Jake interjected firmly. His mom diffused, sharing stories of her own growth via books on acceptance. By evening's end, hugs replaced handshakes, a fragile bridge built. "Proud of you, son," his dad murmured, eyes misty. The victory sweetened our connection, proving love could conquer ingrained biases. Yet controversy struck back home. A former teammate outed Jake in a podcast, framing it as betrayal to straight norms. Online backlash ensued. Accusations of turning gay for attention, fueling debates on fluidity. Supporters rallied, but trolls harassed, dredging old pains. Jake handled it publicly, posting a statement, "Love is love. Deal with it." I admired his resilience, but the toll showed in weary calls. "Sometimes I wonder if it's worth it," he confessed. "It is," I insisted. "Where proof change happens." As careers diverged, choices loomed. I scored a directing gig in New York. Jake offered a promotion staying put. "Come with me," I pleaded. He hesitated. "My job's here. Yours there." The impasse sparked arguments, sacrifice for love versus personal dreams. "Why always me compromising?" he asked. Echoes of early secrecy resurfaced, testing loyalty. Friends weighed in, Lena urging balance, others warning of resentment. In a tearful summit, we compromised. I'd defer New York for a year, building remotely while he supported. Together first, we agreed. The year flew, filled with visits, shared holidays, deepening intimacy. Jake's advocacy grew, speaking at events on coming out in sports. I incorporated our story into scripts, earning acclaim. Society shifted subtly, more inclusive policies, less overt hate. But personal growth shone brightest, Jake unlearning shame, me learning patience. One anniversary, he surprised me with rings, not marriage but commitment. Forever, no matter what. Emotion overwhelmed, solidifying our path. Reflecting on our journey, from that fateful party to now, it's a tapestry of pain and triumph. Love navigated societal minefields, emerging resilient. But questions remain, sparking endless debate. Was Jake's initial deception justified for self-preservation, or did it unfairly burden our relationship?